Look at this shit. Look. Literally. Literally. Look at this shit. I'm about to do some motherfucking grounding work. Yeah. And this the shit though. This is the shit. Check this shit out. Honey. Going back. Right? And I'm a firm believer in that you can't move forward until you know where the hell you've been. Right? Yeah. I wash my hair, deep condition it, all of that. I'm about to braid it up because I have a weekend of turn up coming up next week. It starts with my sister's birthday. We gonna ride on out for the weekend. But listen to this shit. Um, yeah, I didn't put no grease, no conditioner, no, none of that. I did it anyway. Fuck that. Um, so what's going on is that I realized that I am I don't think that I ever really healed or ever even forgave Judas from my second pregnancy, from when he caught that case and left. I don't think I forgave that motherfucker. Back then, when I found out that I was pregnant, I felt, I took it hard. I took it hard when he left. You know, I think I think that's fair to say that we know that I took it hard, and because I felt the need to move forward with a healthy pregnancy and not be stuck in depression or heartbreak, because my heart was broken then. I forced myself to get into a space of being able to just handle it. I was forced into, um, as we say in the spiritual world, masculinity, because there was my hat automatically diversified. I had to become both parents. I had to supplement two incomes. I had to pick myself up in order to not have the child that I was carrying suffer from uh, maybe emotional deprivation or emotional turmoil or trauma. Um, and in particularly because I had made a decision to keep the child, I felt a responsibility even from then to just, I had to pick myself up. I could not allow my situation at the time to dictate the health, the mental health of my son. And so I was forced into this space. And the space didn't allow time for healing. It did not allow time for me to forgive. forgive him because I just automatically took on his role to a degree. And it just left no time for even, it's like everything happened so fast, but slow at the same time. And I haven't revisited that. And I thought because life was happening and going on and continuing that I was okay with, I was okay. I was fine. I just felt no need to revisit it until, just recently I discovered that I never forgave him for that time. And so upon his returning back into our lives, I expected, a man, not a competitor. I expected compassion. I expected love. I expected friendship and companionship, all the things that we had before he left. I expected that. I just expected it to be more so because of our history and because of what it was that we've been through. And to a degree, right? To a degree. I realize this now, not at the time. And to a degree, I expected him to prove himself in a way to say, I have to show my family appreciation for taking this ride with me when they didn't have to. I have to prove to my family that I was worth waiting for. This is what I was expecting of him. I have to prove to them that their waiting for me wasn't in vain. I have to prove to my wife that I am the husband that she didn't choose wrong, that she didn't her belief didn't go in vain, that I truly made a mistake, as we all make mistakes, and that in all of us hanging there together, we'll be better off for it as a team. This is what I was expecting him to prove to me because I needed security in my decision making. Are you with me? Are you with me? I needed reassurance that after all I've sacrificed, after all I've invested, after all that I've done as a partner, I needed reassurance from him that we was valid, we was solid, and that we could beat any fucking thing, that our love would prevail any fucking thing. I needed him to show up for me the way I had shown up for him. And the frustration came in when I, well, he did not choose me after I chose him. You understand? So going back to the pregnancy, I chose him. I chose to stay. Yes, I overplayed my part, but that's not the fucking point right now. I chose to stay in it. I chose to not abandon my significant other in one of his most dire times of need, right? And in choosing him constantly, I have come to the realization that he did not choose me or our family ever, right? And so upon his return, if he would put in the work to prove to me that my choice in choosing him was not a wrong choice, I needed him to prove that to me, and he didn't. And he didn't because he couldn't, and he couldn't because he had never chose me and our family. And I think that reality fucking, I think that was damaging, as well as his mistreatment of me. Upon his returning to our family, to the foundation, to some type of stability, he mistreated me. I ain't even gonna get into the other shit that he did. This is me taking accountability of not having to see things with a clear mind. And we do that a lot in love. We do that because love can be blinding. We do that because we want to use our love and its purity to change the faults that we see in others and the ones that we love. I have learned that I really learned the true meaning of intent, even when it comes down to the law. And I never really understood how man-made law and spirituality could coincide. I'm not even sure if it still do, but let me just stay on topic of intent, right? There's a law of criminal intent, right? And intent um basically defines how the law is used. Stay with me. I'm trying to, because it's right all up in my head, but now I have to get it to come out of the tongue so you can understand. In law, right? Let's say let's say, right? You have a baseball bat. You at a baseball game. At the baseball game, somebody strikes out. They get upset. They throw the bat. They hit somebody with the bat. Somebody, and them throwing it on the fit, whatever. Somebody get hit with the bat, and they're not injured, right? That would be under the law when charges are brought up on that person. That would be probably neglect, criminal neglect, or um maybe criminal neglect, because if the person is brought up on charges, criminal neglect would be because, listen, you neglect to consider the severity of your actions regarding the baseball bat, at the game. Versus the same baseball bat, right? And you go over to somebody and you beat them with that fucking bat because you're upset that they one up you at the game. And now your charges will be assault. And you're like, damn, why would it be assault amongst other charges? Damn, what there's gonna be some other charges, but hold on, I'm trying to get the is you'll have assault, you'll have a dangerous weapon charge, dangerous instrument, right? Dangerous instrument, assault, and it's a few other charges. But the charges will uh compile because you use the bat for not the for unintended purpose. No, not unintended. You use the bat in a criminal format, in a criminal way, with the intent of hurting someone. You understand? So this is the difference in charges. Intent. You took that bat and you used it in a way of, now it's an dangerous instrument, and it's an instrument because the bat isn't typically used to beat someone, to hurt them, or it's used to beat someone to death. So now you took something that is for a sport activity and you created a dangerous instrument in it when you assaulted this person, and you were caught this assault charge because your intent in taking this instrument to hurt someone, it was your intent, your intentions, right? And so his intent, he had intentions, right, to hurt me. It was intended for him to mistreat me, because when you love someone, your intent is the opposite. So, in fact, he used his love as a dangerous instrument, if he even had love. I don't even know if he had that. But whatever emotions that he felt, which was supposed to be positive, his intent was to cause hurt. Maybe an injury. I ain't gonna say physical injury. Yeah, it was to cause hurt and harm and physical injury, resulting in physical, mental, and emotional hurt, lacerations, and confusion. But this is me taking accountability by not having boundaries. I didn't know that love was supposed to have boundaries. This is me taking accountability because one of the ultimate betrayals was him showing me, and I just refused to believe what my eyes was showing me. Like, I just refused to believe it. When someone chooses themselves over you, over your family, over your history, if that ain't the biggest fucking red flag, the biggest fucking red flag, that I chose to turn all the points of that flag into a heart. And I've made excuses. The same excuses you may have made. He's not perfect, we're all human. He's learning. Um, because in love, right, there's no perfection. In humanity, there's no perfection. But human decency is a damn good runner up. And when somebody is treating you less than decent, don't ever excuse that. Because I did. When he first touched down and we was going through everything that we was going through, I was excusing that behavior because I just kept telling myself, he got to get used to being home. He got to get used to his freedom mentally. He got to, it's okay if I'm suffering emotionally right now. It's just that he has to get back into the groove of being around family. He was around strangers for so long. Baby, that's a whole motherfucking excuse. I was excusing that fucking behavior. I wasn't aware at the time. No, that's the shit. Now, as I go back in retrospect and I look at shit, I'm made aware. And I was excusing it because I had wanted so much to believe that my investment wasn't failed. I wanted so much to believe in a black man being rehabilitated in love and not allowing his circumstances to define who he loves, how he loves. I wanted to believe in his spirit that he wasn't going to let previous choices break him down and become numb to what love is. I just had belief in him. And this caused me great regrets. But I am past that regret because I also understand that you fucking cow manure. This motherfucking bullshit, literally, is what assists in my garden flourishing. So, the bullshit that I took myself through and that I had to endure assisted in my growth. And it has made me one hell of a motherfucking woman. And it's a funny kind of thing because I couldn't even pat myself on the back until now. I was so in grind mode. I was one track minded during his absence. And I don't mean spiritually, I mean emotionally. I mean, there's so many beautiful things that I've been able to accomplish in the bullshit that assisted my growth. But I never gave myself the pat on the back. I never gave myself the acknowledgement. I never really, really celebrated myself for the accomplishments that I was able to maintain, that I do have, because I was strictly in grind mode. And when these accomplishments would come along, I couldn't even accept it and say, you know what, I'm proud of myself. It was just, I was so one track minded in the mind state of, listen, I'm a mother. I'm a significant other. My family depend on me. This is just what the fuck I gotta do. You know what I'm saying? This is what I gotta do. Totally oblivious to the fact that no, it's not what the fuck I gotta do. I did not have to purchase a home. I did not have to get 2 vehicles and make sure that he had a way to get around. I did not have to stay by his side during that fucking hiatus. I did not have to make myself available to him every fucking phone call. I never missed a motherfucking phone call. Every motherfucking phone call, every motherfucking commissary that motherfucker had, I made sure that I was with it. Every motherfucking time he was available to get a package, I made sure. You understand what I'm saying? It was shit that I didn't have to do. It was baggage I was carrying. I did not have to motherfucking carry. I could have gave the bare fucking minimum too, and I didn't. And that caused a lot of regret in the beginning of the heartbreak, but not now. Not now. I don't regret any of it because in the 14 years he was away, I found myself. And just maybe, my life was set up in a way to where as though if I wouldn't have found myself if I still had access to him. I wouldn't have found myself if he was still within the home, because I would always be codependent on him, his finances, his love. I would have always needed him to define a certain part of myself. I was able to find who I was as a woman 10 toes down with no motherfucking significant other, strapping my responsibilities on my back. Just me and God. And I found a new meme, right? The meme says that, when you find who you are, you will be embarrassed about the shit that you settled for. And I think that's where I'm at now. I think, there's some embarrassment. There's some but not much. But, he's embarrassing to me now. He's embarrassing. He's embarrassing to the point that I don't even want to acknowledge that I had any type of association with him, right? Um, yeah. Um, it's embarrassing to say that after he had a family that fought for him, he never fought back for them in any type of way. Like, that's embarrassing to me. It's embarrassing to say that at this point right now, we can't even be cordial. We can't even be friends. I'm embarrassed to say that because he is still at a place of his life in unawareness. And that is embarrassing. It's embarrassing. He's embarrassing to say that he did all that fucking time and was unable to rehabilitate himself and grow as a man and not fight for himself so that he would be a better person, not just for himself, but for his family, and particularly his children. And particularly, like, even if he ain't shit as a partner, even if he had came home and it's just like he got all these bitches and you just like what, you ain't shit, but I can't take away the fact that you're a great father or you're a good father, or you ain't give up on them kids, you're still trying, you're bonding with you. I can't even fucking say that, and that's embarrassing, but it is what it is. And I just wanted to bring that to you because I'm still learning lessons and healing, and I had to go back to that time and not just forgive him but forgive myself, because I was always in a position to be spiritually elevated, and I was taking opportunities away from myself, being persistent on having control over my life, having control and not releasing that control to the creator, because ultimately that is who has the control. And so I release all of the control, and I am responsible only for myself now and my 14-year-old. And I'm glad to say that, because even in raising them two boys on my own, they are turning out to be great fucking people, really. And I'm proud of myself for that. And right now I am in the celebratory phase of healing past this breakup point. I am really celebrating myself now and the accomplishments I was able to achieve, even in healing, getting past certain points of healing. I'm celebrating that because that shit got ugly and I was hurt. I was hoit. A bitch was hoit. I was hoiting. Hoiting, goddamn. And being able to move past that, which wasn't easy. And look, the last spring, I had planted lavender. And look what's coming out of the ground this season. This spring, lavender. Now, I got some basil in here. I got some cilantro. I have sunflowers, yes. And that was planted this this that was planted this spring. So to see lavender blooming from last spring, it showed me it survived a harsh winter, and that all of the seeds that I have planted did not die. No matter the weather, no matter the conditions that was presented at the time, it did not die. And they are blooming along with the sunflowers and the cilantro and watermelon. I planted watermelon too, and I'm just still learning. And it's a wonderful experience, and I am celebrating. I'm celebrating me and my resilience and my strength and my spiritual alignment and my spiritual awareness and my relationship with the creator. Yes, I am celebrating because because yep, because I am still here. Because no matter the conditions or the weather or what it might look like would be a failed investment, it is none of that. My spirituality, my faith, my resilience, my strength, my courage got me here. And I am here and I am grateful. So I'm going to take this bullshit and it is going to nourish my garden so that the garden can continue. And I hope you understand that metaphor. Okay. Understand that metaphor. Nothing is going in vain. Nothing is going in vain. And things may not turn out the way you plan for them to turn out. But if you have faith, like you say you do, it's all in divine timing. And things will work out for your greatest good. Happy Sunday.